Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss Jana Vilkko. I'm the principal of Garden City British School, a Band A school in Al Ain, the UAE. Originally, I come from Finland, but the UAE has become my second home since I've lived in this beautiful country since 2010. My background, like I said, I come from Finland. I've been the principal for Garden City British School since 2018. I've been the mother of the school for 3 years, and prior to that, I worked for ADEC since 2010. Like I said, we are a Cambridge curriculum school, but we do things in a different way. It's about the Finnish pedagogy, it's about the Finnish innovation. Since my background is the passion for, can I have the previous slide still, please? Thank you. I share the passion for education. I have authored math books, and that all that work has been done here in the UAE. I have been a curriculum designer in Finland, responsible for creating the Finnish national curriculum, and I have done also curriculum work in the UAE. And I'm also a teacher trainer, and I have worked in the University of Jyväskylä as a teacher trainer. Now, can we now have the next slide, please? After this one. What is Finnish model? What is Finnish pedagogy? And why do I want to talk about it? Finland's education system is regarded as one of the best in the world. And why is it? We are such a small nation. We don't speak English as our mother tongue. We speak this peculiar language called Finnish, or sometimes Swedish. So what is the secret that over the last decade we have done so well in terms of learning math, science, reading, and literacy skills? What is it? Why does that Finnish miracle actually happen? Well, I believe that the teachers are the biggest asset. Teachers are the biggest assets in the Finnish schools, but also in Garden City British School. The teachers are the key elements. When you have high quality staff who know what they are doing and why they are doing it, you are likely to succeed. The focus in the Finnish education, as well as in Garden City British School, is to focus and see the children as individuals, where they are good at, what is their passion, what is the kick to get the best out of them. My teachers know their students, they know their background, they care for their children. I always refer myself as the mother of the school. I like to know the students. I like to know the parents in my school. I like to know what they like about, what they are keen on learning more, and what they feel passionately about. The students are entitled and they have the right to be active learners, and that the students have the feeling that they are contributing, they are participating, their voice is heard. Innovation plays a big part, as well as the health and well-being of the students. When you feel good about yourself, you tend to learn better because your mind is open to accept new topics, accept new contents. And that is what TCBS is all about. In the next slide, I show the bridging element between the Finnish model and Cambridge curriculum. We have two interesting puzzle pieces, the other one being the Finnish education and the Finnish model, and the other one being the fantastic Cambridge curriculum. We are marrying these two elements together. The way how we learn and the best possible contents that the children can possibly have access to. The shift is from teaching to learning. We focus more on what is happening with the students rather than what the teacher is delivering. The focus is what is happening with the child and what is the experience that the child is getting. And the experience should be meeting with the personal needs of every child and yet keeping the consistency in mind. The aim is that every child that comes from Garden City British School is a lifelong learner. It means that they are learning for their future. They are learning topics, skills, knowledge, attitude for their future to come. And also the idea is that when you learn all these fantastic contents, you learn what to do with the contents. Where can you apply all the knowledge that you are gaining? And I think, can I please have the slide back? Thank you. And the idea is that the children become owners of their learning and they feel the responsible and they are proud of their achievements. Finnish education, how does it actually show in the everyday life at Garden City British School? In the next slide, give me a break. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. The Finnish system is famous for regular breaks between subjects. That is also what we do at Garden City British School. The children need a break. Their minds, their bodies, their brains, they need a break for them to learn better, for them to apply all the knowledge, all the talent that they actually have. We have also introduced in our school a support period, which means that it's an intervention for those students that need reinforcement. For some reason, some students may find this particular concept in mathematics a bit demanding, so they might need some extra support. That is what we provide during our support period. There is always a lot of talk about not having homework in the Finnish school. In Finland, actually, yes, the children do get homework, and so we do at Garden City British School. But the homework might differ from the other schools. The homework can be a project, it can be a performance task, it can be a regular worksheet, but the homework does exist. The homework can be given once a week. It can be very holistic. It can combine different elements of the learned and taught topics from that week. Also, from the Finnish system, I would like to highlight the assessment, how we do it and why do we do it. We have a solid focus on ongoing assessment, which means that the teacher constantly is checking for the learning. So assessment is not about studying very hard for the exam, but it's about How can I learn better? Are there certain gaps that I have not learned? Is there certain reinforcement that needs to take place? That is part of the ongoing assessment. We do have regular at the end of term assessments or the midterm assessments, and they play a major part as well. But along with the end of term assessments, we have the ongoing assessment, checking for the learning. It's about not having a stressful learning environment, but to have a relaxed, promoting learning environment where we can see happier students, where we can see happier teachers as well. I'd like to say always that the happy teachers, they make happy students. And that is something that we are employing in our school at Garden City British School. Less is more. Next slide, please. What, how, why? So what are the things that we do at Garden City British School and why we do it? First of all, holistic learning. What does it mean when we talk about holistic learning? It means that we are combining learning outcomes together in a meaningful way. For example, we can study the weather conditions, which is a topic in science, and we can combine it with mathematics, with the measurement. We can add writing a report from English. We can draw pictures, which could be part of the art lessons. Or we can produce data during our computing lessons. So the learning is extremely holistic. It's not about the learning outcomes, but it's about combining so that the child will have an opportunity to learn and see the contents from different perspectives. We try to break the boundaries between different subjects the best we can and make it very meaningful and interesting for the students to learn. Less is more. It's better, from my perspective, to look at the quality rather than on the quantity. Children are interesting with their perspectives and how they look at this world. We need to nurture this curiosity, what they have naturally, and not to try to pour the information in their heads, but let them be active learners who can apply their skills, their prior knowledge the best they can, and ensure that the attitude remains supporting the learning, supporting what is best, what makes me the unique person I am. The school caters the students' needs and abilities, and that is catered through differentiation. The teachers are differentiating the topics to meet with the needs of every child. A child can be really good in a general level in mathematics, and yet there can be a certain area that he or she will find it difficult. It's very important to differentiate the topic to keep the interest towards learning going on. We also provide support in terms of co-teaching. We have several lessons in our school that the students will find two teachers in the classroom. It's the same number of students. We are not combining two classrooms together, but we are providing an extra teacher to be there to support the needs of the students to ensure that the best possible learning is taking place. Can I have the next slide, please? Leadership and social awareness and mentoring. We all talk about the 21st century skills. What is important for the future? What is important for next year or the next week? It's important to be aware what is happening here, now, but also what is happening in the future, what is happening in the world, not only in a line, not only in the UAE, but on a global level. At GCBS, we want to have future leaders. We want to have opportunity for the students to be future leaders who have an understanding of the global phenomena. What is happening in the world outside our community? But it is as important to understand what is happening in our community, in our school community, in our environment, in the bigger sense of the community where we live. For example, what can I do to make this community better? We have raised several fundraisers at GCBS to provide something special for the little patients in our local hospital, Tawam Hospital, by having cancer awareness fundraisers and events. It will bring the possibility to be an influential social member closer to every KG2 student or grade 7 student. I can vocalize my voice. I can have an input into this society, into this community. In the school level, the students have opportunities to participate in the Students' Council and vocalize their voice, what they would like to have in our school. What is the image of their best possible, the most interesting school? What could we do differently? Is there something that Miss Jana, she should know that this should be changed? 2 years ago, my students approached me by saying that we don't have enough outdoor learning areas in our school. And it came from the students. They gave me the reasoning, and they told me why it's important that we will have an opportunity to study outside the classroom. I really liked the rationale, and I made it sure, together with the support from my management, that idea, which was raised from the student council, was taken into account, and it was considered, and it was applied. So the students learn from a very early age to be influencers, that they have ways to influence, they have ways to get their voice heard. Our bigger students support the little ones. We have a buddy system in our school taking place where the bigger students are guiding the smaller students in the ways of studying. For example, when the little ones who are not yet able to write stories, they can tell the story to a grade 5 student who will then actually write the story down. And the KG2 student will have the feeling that I have really created this story together with my friend who is from the upper grades. Active learning. Can I have the next slide, please? Learning through play, active learning. Like I said, 2 years ago, my students raised the request to have an outdoor learning area. We did have already an outdoor learning area for the little ones, but the bigger students felt that they need to have also a place to be active outside. So at Garden City British School, you can find learning happening in the corridors, in the library, outdoors. The other day, I was walking outside and I found a very interesting math lesson taking place on the football pitch. So learning can happen everywhere. You just need to grasp and the opportunity to take the learning from inside to outside, especially when the weather is fantastic. The students are active learners. You see and you hear laughter. You see the sparkle in the students' eyes. You see that they really enjoy and they really take the ownership over their learning. When the students are learning through play, or it is applied in an active way, you are also supporting the students' strengths. They feel that they can apply all the knowledge that they have, they can apply the skills they have. Somebody is really good with their hands, so why not give an opportunity to use the hands? So active learning, learning through play, can happen everywhere. And the students are not just sitting on their chairs inside the classroom, but they are moving around and they are exploring the learning environment. Collaborative learning. The next slide. Collaboration over competition. Very often we hear that competition, I need to be the best, I need to be number one in the classroom, I need to be number one in my family, I need to be number one in the school level, I need to be number one to go over to the university. I'm not denying that, but we should keep in mind that collaboration between human beings is a very valuable skill to learn. Our students learn to receive and give feedback by peer assessment. You learn to be constructive. You learn to give feedback, what will benefit your classmates to become even better. And you, at the same time, you learn to receive feedback from your peers. This one you did really well. Maybe that one you could have done in a different way. The students will learn and understand how to respect and how to be tolerant. We can help, we can support, and we don't always have to be competing against each other. Creative learning. We like different things. I love math. That's the reason why I have authored math books. Numbers, I see maths everywhere. But not everybody likes maths. Some of us, we like to do different things with our hands. We are really creative in what we do. Creative learning is something where you encourage the learner to think outside the box. Find different entries, find different exits to the room. You find different ways to use materials. You find different ways to apply the knowledge that you have learned. In Garden City British School, we provide these different opportunities for students to be creative learners. It's about fostering the differences. We have 41 different nationalities on board. It would be wrong for me to to expect that everybody likes the same things. So let's be creative. Creative in terms of teaching and learning, creative in terms how we utilize the resources that we have, in terms of being creative person and creating something with our hands and the knowledge that we have. Gamification is something that we all talk about nowadays. Gamification, I'm a great fan of gamification, and so are my teachers. We collaborate with universities in Finland, and gamification is actually a tool with to apply to do this. If I can have the next slide, please. Eduten is a math platform where we collaborate with the University of Turku in Finland. My students receive feedback from a math professor, and we can see the international level where our students are. But gamification is also a platform, for example, through Seppo Game, where the teacher can create an interesting platform for the students to apply the knowledge and give the feedback and understanding of their learning processes. Next slide, please. Innovation and entrepreneurship are topics that we raise on the platform. Here's an example, a short video clip from grade 4 student, Värnu, who has done this innovation project on his own with the support from the teacher. Could we please have the video clip?
It's the stuff in your ears.
Can we have the voice, please?
Wrong Greece. Oh, there it is. So Greece, this is its flag.
Is it possible to have the voice?
Greece also has healthy food such as
Okay,
egg,
there seems to
limon.
be
But there are also other
small,
foods such as
arrow.
flakes, soup.
We give the students a personalized, an opportunity for personalized learning paths by giving opportunities to nurture and pursue to their best possible ability in terms of innovation, in terms of the learning that takes place. I wanted to share this video clip because I find it really interesting how we are interested in different things, and the school should always provide an opportunity to nurture these skills and these interests that we all have. Health and well-being, especially nowadays when the students, if I can have the next slide, please. Nowadays, when some of the students are studying from home, has become more and more on the focus. The students are lacking sometimes the opportunity for social communication with their friends. And especially during this pandemic, when the students are studying from home, it's so important for the school to provide different ways for social communication, socializing with the peers. Health and well-being program is applied at Garden City British School to ensure that the students have an opportunity to vocalize their concerns, to vocalize their needs, to collaborate with other students, to ensure their mental and emotional well-being. And finally, what is then our secret? what is the secret of GCPS? Um, we are a child-centered, innovative, and um, active learning community that applies Cambridge curriculum, having fantastic teachers. I cannot praise my teachers enough. They are willing to put their heart and soul to make sure that the students are learning the best. We are sharing the best practices, the best in the best possible way. And yes, it is the Finnish model, but it is integrated successfully in a lane in the UAE. And these elements make our school to be very unique, very special, and I believe the best place for learning. Thank you. And I see that there's a question from, can I just get the question fully? There's a question from Alba Perez. How could you maintain play active learning during the COVID times when most of the time it is homeschooling? Yes, this has been challenging for all of us, I believe. My teachers have done miracles, I need to say. They really think outside the box. They are thinking, what are the resources that the students have at home? How can you best apply? If you have pegs at home, what can you do with the pegs? When you have different elements, what kind of elements you have at school? And my teachers provide different kinds of ways how to utilize the resources that is actually available at school. And then again, when you have software solutions platforms, it enables the students to be active learners through the platform. Do we have any other questions? Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.